All right, good evening. Um, Wanted to start by introducing myself. My name is Devin Clark. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of The Block. Um, I'll start by, I apologize that I couldn't be there tonight. I wanted to do this live in front of everyone, um, but this should work just as well, and I should be able to do a question and answer portion for a small period of time as well. Um, So I want to thank Gilbert for giving me the opportunity to um, speak with you on this topic of websites and mobile apps is what I wanted to focus on today. So I'll start by just going through a little bit about who we are, our company. Let me get rid of this. Um, Whoops. All right. Got it. Little technical difficulties. So who we are, what we do, where, when, and why. So we're a digital marketing company. We focus on helping businesses and nonprofits, different startups and organizations, more or less just build a strong web presence. We started about almost 6 years ago, and we've built out a clientele of about 150, and we built a staff of about 12 between designers, developers, content strategists, marketing, and some are based in New York, here in Jersey, where our main office is. We have a few in the West Coast in Seattle, so it gives us a nice variety of not only talent but thought and direction. When we started our company, our goal was to help small businesses. We wanted to help them grow. We saw a need in that market, and we felt that was where we'd be able to have the highest amount of impact, specifically in their marketing. And so we started with websites, but we ended up building out a lot of different services. We help clients with their SEO, search engine optimization, obviously how they rank, branding and design, their logos, their business cards, their promotional items. We help clients to build mobile apps, design and development. We do content strategy and writing, so we'll help them with blogs or creating content for their actual website. Marketing strategy, how to tie in different elements. So like maybe that could be email marketing or mailers, radio, paid ads. Just developing an entire marketing plan, as well as social media. So creating profiles, helping to manage likes and follows. Doing different things along that line. But as I said, we started with just websites. That was our main start because we realized every business needs one. It's 2016, almost 2017. And if you don't have a website at this point, you're archaic. You're like a dinosaur. And it's still crazy that only 80% of businesses really have websites. There's still a ton of businesses that don't have websites, believe it or not. But the thing is, the majority of these businesses end up not having a lot of control over their site. They either got somebody to build it for them that's no longer doing it anymore, or they're through some sort of third-party company where they're limited in terms of the number of revisions or the design elements or the functionality that the website's allowed to have. And a lot of them aren't, really built for the future. Specifically with a couple of years ago when we had Mobilegeddon, as it was called, having a mobile website is of the utmost importance nowadays. But most people still don't even have that. And so we seek to really help all small businesses, all organizations understand the importance of a website. And there's a number of reasons why a business obviously needs a website. But in my opinion, if I had to come up with a top three, it's very easy. Establishing credibility, providing information, and generating revenue. Those are three main reasons why, or goals of a website. Some businesses have all three. Some businesses have one or two of the three. But you really need to focus on ensuring that these are touched. People do research. They're always looking up what a business is before they will interact directly with that business, and a website gives them that opportunity. So they look you up, you build that credibility while you give them information about your services, about your products, about what you're offering to them, and then that next step would be to close them, whether to generate a lead form or if it's an actual transaction, it could be a purchase order. And your website now ends up becoming another stream of revenue for your small business. And so, a few of our clients, that we've kind of worked with, API Systems, they're a mid-sized IT firm. So they know technology, but it's more software as a service. And so they come to us for the digital marketing side of things, design and web development. And so they work with us and we work with them. We end up being able to be partners in a sense, and we manage all of their design service. Then we have larger clients where we actually manage larger campaigns for them, like Fellowship. We do a lot of design for their ads, their website, their promotions, different things with that. We have some smaller local clients like Jersey Subs, who is a sub shop in New Brunswick. It's near Rutgers, which is a college town, and we help them to build a website and then establish an online ordering platform directly through their website. So this way they don't have to rely on Grubhub and Seamless, which end up taking a percentage from their orders. They're able to build a loyal following with the same types of service and functionality. We have clients like Gatsby Salon, which is a salon located in Central Jersey, but they were on a reality show. So they ended up drawing a large clientele and following from the UK and Australia and Europe. And so their website can end up being a way to convert those if they had some sort of revenue stream. If you live in the UK, you're most likely not going to fly out to New Jersey to get your hair done. Although I've seen contact forms come through for people that were coming on vacation or for a wedding or different things and they wanted to use them. But as a point, the majority of people are going to want to interact with your website directly. So we're building a shop onto their site where they're going to be able to sell their own products, and this is a way that they can continue to generate revenue from the previous following. And leads me to the biggest question that I always get asked, like, how much does a website cost? Which is a really silly question when you really think about it, because it depends, right? How much does a car cost? You look at the variety of options that are available. You get a small compact car for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. You can get a standard sedan for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You can get a nice luxury SUV, for $60,000, $70,000, $90,000, or get that nice red drop top, $100,000, $200,000, $400,000. All these vehicles are the same. They have four wheels. They have steering wheels. Some of them drive themselves. Some of them you have to drive, but they all go from point A to point B. And the fact of the matter is, there's different features on each of them that attribute to price. There's no one-step price. So same thing is with websites. You can go out and you can get a cheap website for free. $10 a month, $30 a month, $100 a month. Through some template sites, and they will function. You will be online, but is it the best performing website that you can have? Most likely not. Is it being managed and optimized? Most likely not. And so it may be a starting ground, but it's definitely not a long-term vision for most companies. So we build out a process that more or less helps to alleviate a lot of the pains by taking it step by step and being very transparent with our clients about how the process goes. So we initially do a consultation, and then we draft up a wireframe, a homepage of the website, and then we allow the client to see the different versions. We usually do 2-3 versions. We allow the client to be able to make revisions. Um, Tell us what they like, don't like, what they want to see changed, and we do revisions until they get a homepage that they're satisfied with. Um, then we do the same thing for all the inner pages. Design them out, allow the client to review them, get feedback, and this allows us to create a fully customized site according to the client's, their needs and their wants. But we're also able to target, goals in the design, with actually allowing it to create some sort of value. Once we have all the designs, we develop it out, and then we insert the content. Run through it, test it, launch it. At this point, the client has a fully functioning website, and we then usually have them on some sort of a management plan to offer them assistance with making changes and updates, different things of that nature. And so, segueing, the second thing I wanted to speak on today was mobile apps. Now, mobile apps are a much, obviously, newer software or platform, but they're becoming very, very popular, with everybody now having smartphones. Even my grandmother has an iPhone now, and it's amazing. The necessity of mobile apps is going to become like websites in a few years, potentially. So I'll start with what is a mobile app. Software application developed specifically for use on a small wireless computing device, such as a smartphone. It's designed for these small devices rather than desktops or large computers. So there's a specific user interface and user experience that's necessary when developing that. And some facts on it is that the majority of people are using apps as opposed to browsing the web when they're on their mobile phone. And over 180 million Americans have smartphones. That number is probably even larger now, with over 100 billion apps downloaded and $30 billion in revenue. It's a huge industry, and it's growing every day as more and more apps hit the market. So there's a few reasons why a small business would want to get a mobile app. First off, my personal and professional recommendation is to usually get a website before you get a mobile app. And the number one reason is loyalty. Most people will do research on a website before they will have trust to download a mobile app. So if you're a new business or you're looking to create a customer market, the website's always is usually a recommendation of the first place to go. But with that being said, once you have that established, a mobile app can offer also a number of different uses. So there can be a customer support feature that allows live chat, customer support access. You can have a productivity app or sales app, some sort of internal CRM or training program with videos and monitoring. You can build an app to, build brand awareness or loyalty, some sort of gift coupon, redeem. You can build an app because your neighbor has an app. They always say keep up with the Joneses. It's always good to stay current with the times. Or you can build an app to increase sales. We've built restaurants, mobile online ordering apps, and they have clients that are able to order online directly through an app, and it makes things easier. It's the reason why Domino's is not bankrupt because about 10 years ago they decided to do online ordering and people thought they were crazy. And now if you're a pizzeria and you don't do online ordering, people think you're crazy. So it's funny how that changes. But that's a great reason to build an app for that use. Now there's two different types of apps, iOS and Android. So iOS apps are obviously the Apple devices, and Android is a broader market, through Google and other devices. And so there's a difference in the coding language. So some people don't think about that. That many times you have to code an app twice, in two different languages in order to make it function across all of the devices. And so there's some pros and cons for each depending on how you look at it. I mean, for iOS, it's a little easier to code because it's structured only for a few devices, and it owns a little less than half of the market share, but it receives more than double the revenue uh, from purchases in the store. So iOS users spend more money in the store, is what the statistic says. But Android is open source, so there's a huge community that's able to build different functions and features. But there's a ton of devices, so sometimes coding across these devices, there's different bugs or glitches that need to be worked out. But Google Play, the store, has 100% more downloads. So there's many, many, many more download interactions through the Play store. So the typical process when someone's building an app is they'll seek out somebody to, like a development agency, and they'll usually spend some sort of an hourly rate to build it out. And apps are pricey. People spend tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars to build out a good mobile app. And most of the time, these developers want 50% up front, before you even see a design. You're spending $30,000, $50,000, to have something built. And you sit there and you worry, you question, you don't get updates, you're wondering what's going on. So sometimes it's a very stressful process. So we like to be very, again, transparent when we're presenting clients with options. And so we break it up a little bit. And so first we want to understand your app. We want to make sure that you know what the competition is like, what your market you're going for, what type of message you should be sending. So there's a period of strategy and discovery. And then we do some design concepts. So now that we understand who you're going for, let's talk about what we want it to look like. And so we are able to design out these home screens. And then we do the same process that we do for our websites. Go through, make revisions, get feedback, make revisions. And this allows for us to develop, again, a custom app with goals in mind. And then once we have a roadmap, in a sense, of what the app will do and will look like, we're able to now understand development hours. And we can plan out and say, okay, it will take X amount of hours for us to develop this app with the functionality that you're looking for. And we can have a set timeline wherein we have benchmarks and update points. And so this way the client's not left in the dark. And they're also not spending $30,000 for this initial process. This initial 3-step up to the development only costs them a couple $1,000s. It's not anything huge for the initial investment to have full designs and to understand what their app potential is in the market. But one of our apps, as a case study, I had somebody come to me as a recommendation, and she wanted to build a dating app of all things. And I said, my first thought was we really need another one of those. But I said, let me hear the niche, like what's different about it, because obviously there needs to be something that's different. So she said, I want to target it against historically black fraternities and sororities. I said, it's very interesting, So she explained her ideas of the app, and we said, hey, this sounds like a great idea. Let's check it out. Let's research, figure out how we should move forward with this. And so we did all of that, did the designs and created the logo and building out the website. And so she has this app, and we're starting with iOS. And so just some quick designs, it's very standard. It's going to have swiping through the profiles, but there's a catch to how you message the users with a key function. And so this key function is going to cause users to be more deliberate with who they're attempting to message. And it allows users to also be deliberate with who they're going to be messaging. This should foster better relationships, and better commitments. And so we'll see how that, plays out. But people always ask me with apps specifically is how they can make money on it, because everyone always has that, the $1 million app idea, right? But there's a couple different ways. So the first way is obviously to have a cost to download. You can have, anywhere from 99 cents up to, I've seen apps for like $1,000. I looked it up. There's a California or a bar exam app to review or prep for the bar exam, and to download it, it cost $1,000. I don't know how many he got, but I mean, he has to have probably gotten at least one, or else, um, but either way, usually, as you can imagine, if you have a cost to download, you're going to have um, a lower number of downloads. People are going to be less likely to gamble if they have to spend money gambling on it. So a lot of times, this cost is used to recover from development costs. So most times I'll steer a client, if they can, to do a free to download with in-app purchases. Because now you're able to generate continual revenue through use, and repeat purchases, allowing your customer to engage. There's a number of different like gaming apps specifically do a great job at this, at having promotions that come in and say, hey, this is a 24-hour deal or a 48-hour deal. Buy this and you get this special package. So it works. People will buy that when things are on sale, and you use your app as a store, in a sense, to be able to sell things. And then the last way, obviously, is is acquisition, what I call the new American dream, where you get bought out. Somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I like your app. I want to buy your app." Or some competition comes to you and says, "Hey, I don't like that you're taking over some of my market share, so here's some money," and stop. And they buy your company out. And so most of the time, that's probably a good thing, because you make money on it. But it's an option. It's out there. So why the block? I mean, one of the main reasons, we have a really high quality product. A lot of our clients really take take pride in the quality of their design. And we also have very affordable packages. We really break down things to be affordable for clients as small as stay-at-home moms that have craft hobbies on the side, up to multi-million-dollar companies, real estate companies, and contractors, and IT and HR companies. And it's really great to be able to provide each of them with exactly what they need to fit exactly within their price range. And finally, our service. We offer a very strong support system. We have customer support, we have technical support, we have project managers that work with our clients on a daily basis to make sure that their needs are serviced. And they're always available for our clients to make sure that their needs are met. And so thanks for your time. Thought I'd toss a cool picture. That's us at a trade show in New York 2 years ago. Myself, my partner was all the way on the right, and one of our clients was actually at the trade show. And so we took a picture in front of the booth that we had. It was a pretty awesome surprise. But I would open it up to questions at this point about anything. So, any questions?